What's going on, everyone, from Overtime Heroics? My name is Danny Podolsky, and I'm joined here with Featherweight Bruno Souza. He is set to take on Luis Saldana at UFC Columbus on March 26th. Bruno, how have you been doing?
I've been doing fantastic. Training camp is doing great. I know it's a little bit of cliche. Nobody that you're gonna talk that's getting ready for a fight gonna say that training camp's doing bad, but actually Wake Cut's doing phenomenal. Still feeling a lot of energy and still training really hard.
Yeah, and you talk about that weight cut. How much of a difference does it make for you getting a full camp for this one versus your last fight? You're on 6 days' notice.
That is not even how to compare about. I struggled to make weight before the last fight. I struggled to make weight once, not my fault. But beside that, I never had any problem to make weight. Unless I do something really wrong. But 6 days it's hard. I was not eating. Definitely, I was not eating good to fight. I was training, always training, but not dieting. So that's why.
How much weight did you have to cut to make that fight?
I cut 22 pounds in 6 days and still missed weight by 2.2.
Okay, so that's not the worst I've heard, but still sounds pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And
I don't cut a lot. I'm planning to cut the day before I'm planning to cut 5 pounds. That's my best weight cut ever. Is that when I fought for the LFA belt, I cut 5 pounds in one night. That was all chilling, just bath and that's all.
Do you think it gives you an advantage not having to cut as much weight, or could you see yourself, maybe moving down to 35 in the future?
I cannot do it down to 35. I already thought about it. Probably in the beginning of my career, actually, I should fight at 35. But I cannot do. I get heavy now. Even though I don't look like, I get heavy now, and not by eating good. If I'm training lifting weights, I get pretty heavy for a 35er. So, but I already thought about it to drop. But I don't mind actually, because my game is always moving and I want to be the fastest guy. I don't want to be the strongest guy, So it's not that I'm a wrestler that I need to be heavy. I need to have strength on top, So I don't mind.
Yeah, and you talk about that technique. You're a very unique fighter in that you were a karate champion before turning, pro. First off, how did you become an MMA fighter after starting karate?
Actually, MMA was always on my life because of Lyoto. So I had a really close relationship with Lyoto Machida. Since his first fight, he used to go to my house with my dad cooking. My dad was one of his students. And so I always saw it. And I always say that, when a kid puts something in mind, it's like a little plant that you just go and take care of it. When you plant something in the mind of a kid, it gonna grow with the kid. So when I used to see Lyoto, my side, literally on my side, and I used to watch his fights, and I was like, okay, he's doing good. And then he started growing his career, and he became a champion. And I still a kid, I still really close to him. I'm like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. So because it's so normal, it's natural. He's doing right there, he's just a regular person that is doing that with you watching that. So that's how. So MMA always was a goal, But I had my karate career was pretty good too, and I knew that if I wanted to go to MMA, I knew that I was going at one point, at least try, and it's doing pretty well.
How long have you known Lyoto Machida?
Oh, since I'm 4 years old.
Oh wow, was it a family connection?
Kind of. Yes and no. Actually, we met them because they have a really traditional karate, not only karate and judo gym at the city that we are from. And so we met there. At the time, the gym was not too big, so you kind of have good relationships with everybody. When I was growing up, that was actually my babysitting, because my mom and my dad had need to go work, so my mom used to leave me there from 2 and pick me up at 7. So it was the whole day. They had the apartment that they lived was on top of the gym, so I was just hanging out with them the whole day.
I feel like the answer is gonna be yes, but would you say you try to style your game off of his?
Of course, yeah. But if you look in the overall and you don't let's say like the average fan, you're gonna say like yeah they're all the same, like Thompson, Lyoto, like any karate we're gonna look the same. But I cannot fight like Lyoto because he's 205. He cannot fight like me because I'm 145. So I gonna have things that he cannot do, and he gonna have things that I cannot do. So we have to adapt. But we basically are from the same gym. We train with the same teacher, like his dad. So like, yeah, you're gonna see tons of things that's gonna be like.
And I think my final question on Machida before we get back to you is that he has a fight coming up in May against Fabian Edwards. I just want to get your thoughts on that matchup.
Dude, let's go. I gotta be cold and not gonna be a friend now. Lyoto is in the point of view, in point of his career, that like actually Lyoto it's out of normal, right? He's like turning 45 years old and he's still fighting. His last like all his last fights was against former champions or current champions. So okay, he did a step back in the end of the day. That this is a step back, and I think and we didn't spoke about it, but I think he want to see where he's at, because I'm sure he feels really good and he looks really good in training. He don't look like he's low down by any means, and it's not that he's getting knocked out on his last fights. He lost three fights, yes, but all by decision. And his last fight was actually the first 2 rounds against Ryan Bader was the best rounds that I saw Lyoto do in a long time. But then Ryan Bader, I'll wrestle him like heavy. But I believe Lyoto can do with that. But it's that point, right? That's what we're gonna see. That's the test. Like, is Lyoto still on that level, sitting on that table with all the champions, or he's actually now slowing down? So yeah, I'm curious to see it, because I'm watching him training. I was with him in December. He's in Orlando now, and I'm like, dude. He's sparring with Rodolfo Vieira. He's doing like all of that with all these guys, like, and I'm like, okay, you don't look like you're 45,
Do you think because of the karate style, it's not a style that takes as much damage on the body compared to something like wrestling? Do you think that's why he's been able to fight for so long, and do you think that's going to help you with your longevity?
100% him, not me. I will explain why not me. But 100% on him. He has such a good lifestyle too, right? He drinks like once, twice in a year, like a glass of champagne in the new year, and he always eat clean. You barely gonna see him eating a hamburger, and even though when he eat a hamburger, it's always for a clean, like grass feed, like all that. So that, together with the karate style, because yes, Lyoto got knocked out a few times, but what give you damage is not the fights, are the training. And you train like you fight. So if you see guys like Vanderlei Silva, like or Vicente Luque, the guys go to war in a fight. They are going to war every day in training, So Lyoto doesn't get hit too much in training. I don't get hit too much in training. So that's for sure, together with his lifestyle. It's what making him so long his career. I don't have the lifestyle. So I don't believe myself going to 45. I don't even want to fight after 40. I'm like, I want to be in the point that with 35, I'll be fine to say, okay, if I want you, I can stop. If I want you, I can keep going. So that's what I think. But Lyoto, he's Zadig's on the game. He want to get better. He want to prove himself. He don't care about what others gonna talk about. He care about what he can do it, and he still feel that he can improve, and he can. That's what scares. He's still improving. The only thing is that he's not being able to do during fights what he's doing the training. That's why this step back sometimes gonna be important for him to recover his confidence and shock the world, being champion after 45 years old.
I think just switching gears to your opponent, Luis Saldana, have you gone to watch his previous fights, and is that a big part of how you train?
Yeah, of course, tons of it. So that's actually for me is the best part of the fight is to I compare to launch a rocket. So the guys do a math like for years, and when they're gonna launch, they hope all the math is right. So that's what I do, and that's I think majority of the fighters do. We watch videos, we look for things, and then we launch when we go launch the rocket on the day of the fight. We hope all of that we thought is right, you know. And of course, not 100% gonna be right. You're gonna have to fix it, one or two things during the fight. But that's the what excites me, you know, like to okay plan and apply it, and like okay that worked, or okay that didn't work at all, you know. So yeah, that's part of my game.
And looking at his game, where do you think you have the edge?
We kind of look like, you know, like I hate to say I hate to say actually, but like we move, we have distance. He's a little bit longer, you know. I believe my footwork is better, so I can be in and out better. But he can fight, you know, like he can punch, he can kick, he kick good. He fight both stances. I think we do a lot of things like, but I actually believe my footwork is key. Not only against him, actually, I trust my footwork against like in all my fights. I think that the karate like is really hard to translate for the MMA, right? There is a bunch of bad habit that we have that's not good at all for MMA, but things that like timing, distance management, and footwork are things that are key if you can actually translate.
And so, obviously, with that point karate background, you're not going to have as much like wrestling training, but you do have two submissions to your name from earlier in your career. If this fight should hit the ground, do you think you'll be able to keep up? And even if it's not this fight, if you happen to face a wrestler in the future, how do you think you'll be able to hold your own?
I'm just a karate guy. Let's
Fair
live
enough.
like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think
Don't nobody needs to worry about my ground.
okay, it's not going to hit the ground.
That's it.
Fair enough. And I think just my final question: if all goes well and you beat Luis Saldana, how active do you want to be in 2022?
As much as I can. I'm sorry, but I'm not being active as I wish my whole career because of something, or I got injured. Like I have like in one fight I broke my hand, the other fight I broke my fibula. So like I had to take some time. Or for example, last year I wanted to fight a lot, but we were kind of like stepping eggs, you know, like okay, we gotta fight, but it gotta be a good fight. No, gotta be for LFA belt. So I had to wait a lot for one opponent or other thing. But I just want to fight. I don't care. You know, if I'm healthy, if I go there and healthy, when if I can go back right away, I want you. You know, like because I believe I'm only 20. I just turned this week 26 years old, and I still see that I have a big room to improvement. So, and the only way training is really good, really important part of it, but the only way you're gonna improve actually and get experience is by fighting. So I believe a key for my like if I ever hit my apex is by doing a bunch of fights, you know.
Fair enough. And I think, hey, he's the Karate King.
Yeah.
You guys can catch Bruno Souza fighting Luis Saldana on March 26th at UFC Columbus. Bruno, thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure. I always love talking about fighting.